Jeff.
And I'm Sarah.
And this is Leo. And this is a video recap for our second class in our October 2012 All Levels Jookin series for Swing Ann Arbor. In this class, we started with a bit of review of the content from week 1. So we started with our solo movement. There are 2 solo patterns that we practiced. There is the up pulse step. So it's step, up, step, up, step, up, step, up. And then there's the step hip roll, or I should say hip roll step pattern. So it's roll, step, roll, step, roll, step, roll, step. Okay? And you can imagine that these are 2 ways of expressing yourself to music. One is sort of like an up-down way, other is a sort of side-to-side way. We then also talked about the 3 basic types of connections that we talked about in week 1. And we then explored how to get between them in this class. So we had our open connection, which we can do either of the basic patterns, the footwork in, but we're just going to do the up pulse for the time being. So we had our open connection, and we can transition to closed position by leads. You just coming forward, you don't pull or yank on the follow. So here we are in our closed position, doing our up pulse. And then again, same thing, you just come forward a little bit, disengaging the connection on the back.
And follows, if we're comfortable, we continue and finish off this connection with the chest.
So we've got our nice hug connection in our close embrace. To get out of the close embrace, we worked on disengaging the chest connection. So leads, we brought our cores back, and we made sure that our hands were ready, our right arms were ready to catch the follow after we disengage. So here we go, I disengage.
And I follow that posture change, which disengages me, and the connection is transferred to my back.
Yeah. So one more time, here we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to just ever so slightly pull my core away. Okay? Great. And then, again, if I let go with my right hand, sort of gradually step back with that up pulse, we get back into open. And we can travel in between these connections throughout the course of the dance. Okay, great. So this right here is a whole bunch of material, but then we gave you some turns that are great on their own right, but also allow you to transition between these connections. The first thing that we did was underarm turn, and it looked like this. This is just from close to close.
So we initiated that turn when our weight was on our inside foot. So the follows first step is out and around. And follows, we talked about continuing to dance through our turns and not stopping with the pause. Because some of you started out like that, and towards the end everybody was dancing through it, and I encourage you to keep doing that.
Yeah, definitely. So once we practice this from close, we then use this to go between our connections. So for example, here is close into close embrace. Okay. Here we've got from close embrace back into closed. And we can also go into open. And there's a lot of right ways to do this, so to speak. So what some of you were doing maybe was not wrong, but we can definitely, we want to give you this following bit of advice, that when we're doing this underarm turn, we're sending the follow out, and they have a sort of energy direction, and so that is going to open up the connection. And so then you can step to the side. So your connection rotates 90 degrees, but then you've established the space for the open connection. So once more, so you can clearly see that. So here we go. Okay. There you go. You can also do this from open, and you can play around with that. So this is a basic pattern that allows you to go between everything as well. Great.
Then we did another turn.
Okay. Which is very similar to a Texas Tommy, for those of you who know this movement from Lindy Hop. And it looks like this. So we bring the arm around so it follows back. We switch hands. We're in no particular rush to do this. And then we open up and we unravel the follow. We can just continue doing the up pulse. We can also use the other step as well. Okay? So here we are. And now, this is effectively open position, but we're in a cross-handed connection. And then, we can close it back up by doing this little step back where we create this stretch. Okay? So when we step back, stretch. We can go back into any sort of connection here. Once more. Step, stretch, step, pulse, step, pulse, step, pulse. Okay? And we did this activity at this time. So when we were unraveling the follow, we just want to remind you that as we unravel the follow, our hands are sort of like moving around each other in a very relaxed way. We don't ever grip onto each other's hands. So we did this activity.
We stopped before it got awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is a general technique that we recommend you employ in blues and Lindy Hop, not to hold on to hands when we're turning, but you sort of just allow them to pivot around each other. Great. And we left you with a challenge version of this movement, and it looked like this. So here we go, our up pulse rhythm, cross-handed connection. And we ravel the follow back into the Texas Tommy close the brace, or closed position. So, once more, here we go. Here we go.
And follows, to allow that to happen, we need to have this arm relaxed, because if we're toned, then he's not going to be able to get it behind us.
Alright, so that's it. You guys did a great job this past week, and we look forward to seeing you next week, where we'll be doing a whole bunch more fun